So this is a reading for those of you who are interested in seeing what is married life going to be for you. So as you can see, I have 3 different piles. This is the carnelian pile. I'll let you look at it. Okay. The second pile is represented by tiger's eye. And the third is represented by citrine. Okay, so you can check the comment section down below to see which timestamp is going to indicate your reading that you choose. You can pick more than one if you would like to. So let's get started. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you chose the pile with carnelian. I'm very excited to see what's in store for you. The first pile is always interesting. Okay. So what we're starting with is power and community. These are the 2 things sticking out to me first. And so what this is telling me is that the power of this relationship is the family dynamic. It's supported by the family. You guys could either have a lot of children, or you plan on having a lot of children, or you guys come from very big families. And this is a powerful connection here. I feel like you guys balance each other very well. With this card here, this is creation. So like I said, I do feel like there is a strong desire to build a family, or you guys could be one of 2 families coming together. Like you already have children, and both of your children are now step siblings. But I feel like there's a very big emphasis on the children within this dynamic. Self-indulgence, healthy choices. Okay, so this one says focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. And then we have healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and life. Self-love, self-care, being happier. So I don't think it's a coincidence, and I shuffled everything, okay? But I don't think there's a coincidence that both of these are talking about self-care. Okay, and then the last card that has come out is the Queen of Cups. So this is a very spiritual connection. I'm seeing for some of you, this is a Leo Pisces couple, but it doesn't have to be. This marriage is very emotionally driven. There's a nurturing aspect to this relationship that I feel like a lot of people would not be able to handle. So it means that both of you guys are committed to focusing on the emotional aspect, the nurturing aspect, dare I say the feminine aspects of love, showing affection. It feels like one or both of you maybe didn't receive that type of love growing up or something like that, and you want to make sure your children experience that. This is a very loving energy, very healing, a place where you can heal. It's a therapeutic household. There's a lot of love in the air. King of Cups. Look, I can't make it up. So the card that came out for you is your match. So you guys are a match. This is beautiful. Look at this. Wow. So both of you guys have a connection with God separately. I do feel like you both want children. This is really, really beautiful. I was not expecting the King of Cups to come out. Wow. So you guys are both on a very royal, connected relationship. I think you guys both understand your connection to God, and you guys relate to that, and you guys love each other for that. Like that was a huge step to the binding of this marriage, for the creation of this marriage. You guys have a very balanced, and I don't even know if balance is the word, right? But it seems like you make a conscious effort to be conscious. You make a conscious effort to make healthy choices that will yield your children in the right way, or be a good example to your family, to work and be in this marriage as king and queen should. So you guys both have made a conscious decision to be spiritual and have spiritual discipline. Relationship is very emotionally driven, like I said earlier. Let's see. I also feel like you have a lot of people that admire you guys or look up to you guys, which can be kind of intimidating at times. Yeah, we have the Magician and the Four of Cups. For whatever reason, I feel like one or both of you are artists and you guys are very creative beings. But sometimes I think even though this relationship is very spiritual, you have to focus on the affection. I think that's where you guys kind of started, was the affection. But sometimes it does kind of dwindle. It does kind of fade off. So you guys have to make a conscious effort to create that spark again, which is normal. I think both of you guys you guys are very deep individuals. So sometimes, you know, with being deep, you can kind of like separate and be in your own universe. So you have to remember to come back together at times. And don't leave each other hanging in the midst of that. Yeah, I feel like Three of Pentacles, here it is again. That community and children. So you guys are definitely planning on having children. Whatever you're trying to grow, whether it's a family, more children, a business, you need to make sure that you get this together first. So you want to make sure that you and your spouse or whoever's feeling like the affection is dwindling, you guys make a conscious effort to really cultivate that affection and the expression of love to each other, whatever that looks like for you, before the children come into play. Okay? So that you can already know how to do that whenever the children are here. Okay? So you guys don't have to go through what a lot of parents go through once children are in the picture. It shifts the whole relationship. It's not a bad thing, but it is something that you should think about before you jump into having children. You want to make sure that that is completely something that's not a huge problem, something you guys work on so that you guys, you know, can thrive. All right. So that is what your marriage is going to look like. It's very calm. It's a very calm marriage. You guys are very much so equally yoked. And yeah, that's all I have to say for the pile with the carnelian. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the second pile. Okay. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Your pile is represented by Tiger's Eye. So I'm very excited to see, you know, what your cards have in store. Okay, let's see. This is my favorite part, when I get to flip the cards. I don't know why, but it makes me so excited. Okay, so, okay. And I'm also going to pull some clarification cards if I feel the need to, okay? So don't be alarmed once I start shuffling again. Okay, so obviously let's start here. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Engagement ring, wedding rings. Wow. So this is like a very early honeymoon phase marriage. Union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise, engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. Whoa, that's deep. I mean, I thought it was cute at first, but it got really deep really fast. And I think that that's also a metaphor for your relationship. Like, you guys just felt this instant attraction to each other. It was ordained, not only because you're getting married, but because it was like already a soul connection, a soul tie. You met your person. And this only happened, right? Moving on. This only happened whenever you moved on from a different way of being, or it could have been a person as well. We're going to check in just a second. We definitely need to see what you left behind. I think for some reason, I feel like you were married before, or you were in a very serious relationship before. And so now you have high expectations. But not only that, you also were let down before. So now this is a big step for you, you know, with this expectation being so negative at one point when you had to move on from your past situation. We have the Hangman in reverse, but you're tired of waiting. This relationship is all about taking leaps and bounds, not being stuck anymore, being free. You learned the hard lessons before, and now it's time for you to go ahead and, you know, go towards what your journey and your soul is waiting for, your next step. And I feel like this person is very liberating for you. This marriage feels very free. It feels like someone finally gets to be who they are, and they're with someone who accepts them for who they are. Okay, so this is getting very deep, okay? Okay, so we got 9 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, the expectations were, it was stuff that wasn't, it was emotionally driven things that were not done correctly in the past relationship. I feel like somebody was sad, somebody was let down, somebody was promised all of these things, and then it just went out of the window. Like something happened where it just crashed. The Tower. But it was already like a bad relationship. It was just you kept holding on to it. It was already over. The Tower in reverse is like, girl, you knew that was supposed to be over a long time ago. The problem was there was a habit or an addiction to the person, or maybe the things that you guys did in the relationship, or the things that you felt like you were missing in the past relationship kept you in that really bad situation for a long time. I do feel like it was pretty toxic. And so, like I said, for you to be moving towards this new relationship and seeing all of this and seeing all the freedom, it kind of restored your faith in relationships and what being a union is and what it means to really find your soulmate, or, you know, whoever you're supposed to be with. What it feels like. You feel free. You feel like you can be yourself. You feel like there's nothing you can't accomplish. You feel happy. Okay, and then we have the King of Swords in reverse. It was in reverse. So whoever left the really bad relationship, they were dealing with someone who could have been a narcissist, or they were very manipulative. They were verbally abusive, and I think that even if it wasn't that bad of a situation, their words had a huge effect on you. And I think now that's something you don't tolerate. You don't tolerate someone cussing at you, or you don't tolerate arguments where it gets loud. And I think that's something you implement in your marriage now. And I think that's why it's so successful. There's also an energy of someone in this relationship, their love language is words of affirmation, meaning they need to hear what you feel. They need to hear how you feel about them. So keep that in mind. I'm not sure if it's you or your partner, but their love language is words of affirmation. So this relationship looks like it's a part of a healing journey. One thing I will say is don't let your past, because there's a lot of cards with the past and it's almost outweighing the now. You don't want that to overcrowd all of this beautiful stuff that we see here. The wedding ring, the engagement ring, the freedom. You don't want to be that person that keeps talking about what you've been through. Because this new person is deserving of the very best version of you, not the sad, bitter version of you. Okay, so let's talk about this new person. Forget all of that. Let's talk about this. Your wedding life, your wedding life. Not your wedding life, your marriage, sorry. Okay, so we have Queen of Wands in reverse. I think somebody is either nervous to do something, or they're realizing being a wife is not as easy as they thought. They're like, oh my gosh, like now I'm a wife, like I'm excited, but how do I do it? You know, they're realizing it's actually a job. Like it's not just something you just do. So there's some things that you still have to work out. I'm guessing it's the woman in the relationship. You have to go through some things within yourself so you can break free. What I mean by that is you have some traits, or you have some issues that you need to let go of from past relationships, so you don't bring them into this one. So work on that. You don't have to be vocal about it, but just be conscious of the things you need to work on and make sure you are working on them, because I do think this relationship is worth it. And then we have the Emperor. So here's the husband popping up. This Emperor energy means that he's a leader. He knows how to lead. That is what he's going to do, and I think that's one of the things why you love him. He is a man's man. Well, I don't really know why people say that. What I mean is he understands what masculinity is, and he knows how to be himself, but he also knows what duties he must carry as a husband, as a man, and soon to be father if you guys have children. He could be an Aries. He doesn't necessarily have to be. We do have a lot of fiery energy here, so I definitely feel like there's an Aries somewhere in the mix, but it doesn't have to be. The Emperor. I feel like your husband is either spiritual or understands his position in regard to God, and being married is very important to him. The commitment of marriage, the covenant of marriage is very important. Four of Swords, he's not shy at all. I think that he talks to you a lot, like especially when you're going through things. He knows how to make you get up. He knows how to make you not feel sad, not feel down. He knows what to say to you. He understands your love language. And this is one of the reasons why you guys are able to keep going. He isn't going to give up. He's not one of the type to throw in the towel or to give up. And so this relationship will thrive because he wants it to work. But you have to make sure you work on these two things, because he's not going to give up. He respects marriage way too much. And he's a man. Like he knows what he wants. You have to make sure you work on yourself. Know what you want. Be the wife that he deserves. Because he's going to be the husband that you deserve. So this is beautiful. I really like this. And forget all the shit in the past, okay? Okay, so yeah, that's your reading. If this is your pile and you are here, I want you to leave the ring emoji in the comment section, because I really feel like you're going to have a nice ring, okay? All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So your pile is represented by citrine. Okay, awesome. So I'm excited to see what your cards have to say. Okay. Okay, we got an interesting group of cards here, right? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if this is saying someone just got married or if this is about divorce. I'm definitely gonna pull some clarification cards for this one. Justice. So I feel like there's a legal thing or a prenup or something. We're gonna see in a second for sure. We have poverty. Oh. So stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. And then we have chaser and codependent relationship. Fear of abandonment issue. Ooh-wee. And last but not least, we have material and spiritual prosperity. So I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like this is a bit of a struggle love, which I'm not a fan of. It does look like you guys probably got together when you were young. There's a lot of learning attached to this marriage. Now, what I will say, material and spiritual prosperity means that this will end great. But I'm also saying that there's a lot you got to go through before you get to this marriage phase. So marriage is in the midst for you with this dynamic, but you guys have been through a lot, and we all know how much finances can make or break a relationship. It sucks, but it's true. I feel like you guys have been through the good and the bad together. But sometimes when people go through those situations, it can cause them to not really get over things, and they can be very bitter. They can have a lot of resentment. They can blame each other. They can become codependent, but they don't want to leave each other. They don't want anyone to be with their person, but they also don't really want to be with the person that they're with. This is what I see, but I think this is where you guys will grow from, so you can get to these stages. So like I said, I do feel like you guys were together at a very young age. So maybe you were immature. Maybe you didn't have representation of what a marriage is. But I think with this spiritual prosperity, one or both of you, I think it's both, are learning what it means to truly be married or to be in a relationship through a spiritual text, whether it's the Bible, whether it's a spiritual journey you're going down. You're understanding the power of a marriage. So a lot of these issues that were there, it's either it doesn't matter or you have understanding to why it was a problem. So you're learning, you're maturing. It could even be that you guys are going through therapy. I'm also seeing that it could have just been that money was always the root of the issue within y'all's dynamic. And now that you guys are making more money, it's like these problems aren't really, problems anymore. So let's dig in. Let's get a few more cards. It's definitely been a long journey for you guys, but I definitely think you guys are in it for the long haul. Neither one of y'all are going anywhere. I feel like you guys have been together for a long time, but you guys have not been married, but now you guys eventually are going to just get married. But you guys basically have been together for like years, so it kind of seems like you guys have been married all this time, you know? I feel like you guys don't tell anyone that you're getting married for whatever reason, and you guys just go elope, or you just go to the courthouse. That's what I'm saying. You guys just sign, you sign the paper or whatever. So you go to the courthouse to get married or something like that. Like it's more legal than it is an event. Like I said, you guys have been together for a long time. Death and rebirth. Yeah, so I feel like there's a huge change for you guys within your finances, but also your spiritual life. There's growth. There's a phoenix moment. I also feel like this is saying someone could be a Scorpio who has like they've completely changed. They went through their phoenix moment. And so now they've always loved you, but now they know how to love. They know how to express their love for you. If it's a Scorpio, it doesn't have to be. And then we have Five of Swords. Yeah, so you let bygones be bygones. Some stuff is just not worth being apart over. You guys are learning like how important you guys are to each other. And instead of trying to be tit for tat, you guys are learning, no, like I want to grow with you. I want to be prosperous with you. And you're just maturing. I really feel like this is just a maturity issue in the beginning because you guys got together so young. But it looks like things are changing for the better. Yeah, and then we have the Fool card here. I think with the money situation, because you guys were so young, you just didn't know what you were doing. And it caused a lot of issues. You guys were playing house very early. This kind of looks like the crystal. It's the shape of the crystal. So I just think that you guys had your focus on the wrong thing at one point. But like I said, it really looks like money was really the issue here. But now that you guys are maturing, you're realizing that all of that stuff is really not that important. And the more you realize that and the more aligned you become with spirit and with God, you are able to join together in a stronger union. And just mature and just be the people that you need to be. Yeah, there's still some things you guys have to work on. For sure. Judgment is here. So there's some things that people have done that you guys have done in this relationship. Some people were wrong. Some people, you know what I mean? Like, there's definitely a lot of issues that have happened in this relationship. But I think you guys are both learning to just let it go. Because when you are with someone for a long time, that's a lot of time, to cause issues, to cause trust issues and things like that. But if you guys are willing to work through it, then these are things that have to just be, thrown away as far as the deeds. And you have to mean that you won't do it again. And you have to show the other person why, why everything is going to be okay. But I think both parties have done something or another in this relationship. But moving forward, you guys look like you're ready to really seal the deal. And so I think this is going to be one of those stories where you guys are together forever, honestly. So I hope that it's a healthy relationship. It looks like it is going to get better, but I do hope it's healthy and it's not just, a toxic struggle love, because it does kind of give that vibe just a tad bit. But, there are couples who can go from really bad to really good. So hopefully you guys are one of those couples. Thank you so much for watching your reading and letting me read for you. If you picked pile number 3, I want you to leave the palm tree. I want you to leave the palm tree as your emoji in the comment section down below. Okay? And why the palm tree? Because it represents in your reading and in your relationship, in your marriage, stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. Because it's all the things that you're going to need to really start embodying so you can go ahead and get to this point here. Okay? So, congratulations on the growth, and I'll see you in the next one.